Hi everyone. As promised, here's the first tutorial about how to set up your own vehicle inside the project I created. First thing you should do is download the project. Here's the thread on the forum. The link is going to be down in the description. And the last version is version 1.4 right there. You should download it and have it opened, well, at least ready to be opened to keep doing this tutorial, because we're gonna use this project to implement your own vehicle inside of it. So for this tutorial I have a new 3D model. This is a Chevrolet Bel Air 1957. I'm pretty sure you can tell already that I love old cars, so this is it. And this first tutorial is going to be about how to prepare your 3D model to be imported inside the engine to be used with the project. And so the first thing we want to do is save as this thing, and you want to first have a max file for the body, in which we're gonna delete everything that is not the body. That includes the wheels, the steering wheel, the needles from the quadrant for the speed and RPM, things like that. So save that as body, and save another one for the wheel, in which we're gonna delete everything except for one wheel, which we're gonna rig, position to the center of the scene, and use as a wheel, because it has to be a separate mesh. And then lastly is going to be the steering wheel, which is same as the wheel, needs to be a separate mesh. So save. Okay, so let's first off start with the body. What we need to do is delete the wheels. Now you may have noticed that the vehicle is facing toward the x-axis, and I'm not quite sure this is very important, but I would recommend you doing so anyway. And so then, what we have to do is position the vehicle down a little bit. I'm actually going to go into the left view. Could be a little lower. Good. And it seems I forgot some polys over there. Okay, so this is our body mesh. Just save that. Now I did apply material IDs already, and so this is really important to do that if you want to be able to use the paint material and be able to change the color of the paint. If you want to be able to tint the windows, you're gonna have to duplicate all of the glass meshes and apply a different material ID to them, because the tinting of the window is a separate material. Sorry about that. So okay, yeah, we need to delete also the steering wheel. So hide. Steer 2. Good, okay. And then convert to editable poly element. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, no, it's not gonna do it. Okay. So now this body mesh is ready to go inside the engine. So let's just unhide all, save it again into body. Then we're gonna have to export it onto somewhere, and I'm gonna name it static mesh underscore Chevrolet Bel Air 1957. Oops. body. And that's how I'll know it's the body for the Chevrolet Bel Air. And next we can do the wheel. So on this one we're gonna do the exact opposite. We're gonna delete everything except for one wheel. And just one of them. See, I don't want to delete that. Okay. Tire. Okay, I'm back. Seems like all I had to do was to select it, go to group and ungroup it. Then I can only select this one and delete it. Now the only thing you have left to do is attach everything together. Make sure not to mess up the material ID. So it would seem that I'm missing one mesh somewhere. There. Good. Now the bounding boxes. Okay, cool. So if you go into hierarchy, I'm not sure I pronounced that right. Effect pivot, center the object, align the world, and then position that wheel at 0, 0, 0. It is now ready for rigging, except for one thing actually. There's too many polygons on that wheel, and yeah, too many polygons on a fast spinning physical object is really killing frame rate. So we're gonna have to delete some of these polygons, and I'm gonna do that just now. I'm not actually gonna show you that because that's up to this 3D model, and that probably is not a concern for you. So just stop the recording again. See you in a few minutes. Okay, so I had to redo the tire part because the other one was way too complex. So I now have 2.5K polys instead of like 11K, which is much more acceptable. And so I saved it, and now this is still one mesh because we're gonna rig it. That'll be into the last one, bones. Just click any location, then right click to end it. And you're gonna have to delete the first one. Place this one at 0, 0, 0. Very important, select the rotation tool and zero it out as well. Just like that. So you don't have any issues with rotation being offset or anything. And yeah, name it root bone. The name of the bone is really important because when we import this into the engine, we're going to use the already existing wheel skeleton so that we don't have too many different skeletons all over the content browser. And I'm going to offset this a little bit for sake of the steering. And I think that's it. We're ready to add a skin modifier. Skin. Add bones, select our root bone, select, and if you hit edit envelope, you see the entire wheel is attached to that, well, not attached, skinned to that bone. So you can go back to the create tab, select the bone and rotate it around, and you see the wheel is following, so our rig was successful. Now Control Z that to zero it back. Save it again, and I would export it as same as the body except wheel, and hit save. Okay, cool. So we're done for the wheel as well. Now the only thing left would be the steering wheel. Oh, steering wheel got selected in that. So I'm gonna hide it so that I don't delete it by accident. Good. Now the only thing I have left is this. Convert to editable polygons. Select that. That should be my steering. Absolutely. Good. So now what I'm gonna do, now that's a little bit tricky, but we're gonna have to attach these two together to be able to center the pivot point. Fixed pivot point, center. And we're gonna have to manually put it as flat as we possibly can. Just somewhere like that. Now this is purely for aesthetic, the steering wheel, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, unlike the wheels, for example. But we're still gonna try and make it look good. So that'd be, yeah. I'm gonna try to place the pivot point in the center of that cylinder part at the bottom, this here. And I think that should be good enough. Now, of course, so that it's easier to place in the blueprint, we're gonna put the pivot point way at the bottom. You can even use the snap tool to place it down there. And okay, same thing, 0, 0, 0. And we actually want it facing upward, just like that. So that is our steering wheel mesh that we're gonna export at steering wheel.fbx. And unless I'm forgetting something, this is pretty much all you have to do for your meshes to be ready. And so we're just gonna go ahead and import them. So inside the vehicle, create a new folder called Chevrolet Bel Air 1957. Create a new folder called Meshes and import these 3 meshes in it. So we've got the body. And one very important thing, under the mesh tab, you absolutely must check that checkbox, combine meshes, because if you look at it in 3ds Max, these are all separate meshes, they're not attached to each other. Oh, and I need to fix that smoothing group. Whatever. So yeah, if you do not check that checkbox, it's gonna come into the engine as a lot of separate pieces instead of one mesh, and you absolutely do not want that. Now it's gonna give you a weird warning, mostly because I haven't done that model myself, so it's probably having some UV problem and stuff like this, but it doesn't matter. It gave me these warnings for every model, and all of them are working fine, they're looking good, so don't worry about it. Now it's time to apply our materials. Okay, so that's gonna be paint instance. Good. Oh, that was a chrome. You know, there was There was a way before in previous version of the engine to just check the box and know what each material ID was affecting, but it's not there anymore. So judging, oh yeah, that'll be paint 2. So another paint instance. How about this? Oh, this is gonna be rubber. Good. We're almost there. This is gonna be glass, I would guess. Oh no, right. The front. How can I say that? The front lights doesn't have anything modeled behind them, so I'm just gonna leave them gray. That's why I gave them their own material ID. Okay, now this is the glass. Jeez. Glass, alright. How about this one is glass too? Nah, gonna leave it gray. Chevrolet logo could be chrome, I guess. And then, last but not least, these little cone things here from pictures I've seen are gonna use the rubber material. Okay, so our body mesh is fully set up, and I've actually forgotten to add a separate material ID for the inside, so it's now the same color as the first paint. So I'm gonna do just that now. I'm gonna select everything that's inside, just like that. Hide unselected. I'm gonna create a new material just for them. This one, let's say I just put it green, just so that I know when I look at it. Okay, so the interior now should have its own material ID. And hide all, save and export to the body mesh. Okay. And we're just gonna have to re-import it. And it's more than likely gonna mess up the material work we just did. So we're gonna have to replace them properly, I guess. Or maybe not. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to. And so, is it this one? No. So it's one of these two rubber. Not this one. Ah, that's it. Oh, and I forgot these two little parts there. Ah, yeah. So that'll be you and you. And you just apply it in the same material. And you just save, export, and re-import again. Okay, now the interior is all white. Now I know this mesh isn't perfect. You can see here it's pretty messed up actually, but you know, if you don't look too closely, it's still a fairly pretty vehicle. So that's gonna do for the tutorial. Alright, now that we have the body mesh imported and with material applied, we're gonna import the wheel. We want it as a skeletal mesh, and we're gonna use skeleton wheel. This is actually the skeleton that is into the shared asset folder. Every single wheel is gonna use that skeleton, so that's why I had to rename the root bone into root bone. So, okay, there it is. Now I should only have 2 material ID. Don't know why I'm having 3, but it doesn't quite matter. Oh, right. Of course, that white stripe is gonna have to be paint instance to be white. So just save that. And so we're gonna use the slot name that we're gonna name rim, so that the blueprint knows which material ID has to be affected when we're using the rim paint function. We're using the slot name a lot for all of this instead of the element index. And so, yep, you have to rename whatever you put in Chrome into rim for the blueprint to be able to find it. Now onto the physics asset. You want to keep that a sphere. And that looks just about perfect. Cool. So our wheel is done. And we're gonna rename that into physics asset Chevrolet Bel Air 57 wheel. Alright. I like to give everything consistent names so that it's easier to find anything when you're looking inside blueprints. So up next, we have to import the steering wheel as a static mesh. And so gray, so that it is the same color as the interior of the vehicle. And that's it. Now that you have all the meshes set up properly, you're ready to start the blueprints. And that is gonna be onto the next tutorial, because I'm pretty sure this tutorial has been long enough already. So I'm gonna cut it there and probably do the next part tomorrow, or maybe even tonight, why not? So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'm not gonna post this video onto the forum, but I'm still gonna give you the link to the thread on the forum to download the project. So just check in the description for that link. And that's it. So have a good day. Until next time.